credit goes to Auburn and their atmosphere. I told television stations afterwards, incredible atmosphere every time we come here to play. They got one of the most loyal fan bases there is. They got a lot of respect for him and the job he's done, and great atmosphere to play in. Obviously, we didn't play our best game today, but we're a very resilient team. Proud of the way we competed, and we got to continue to get better. I mean, that's the most important thing for our team. So, a lot of things we did wrong, a lot of things we did well, but we're not going to get where we want to go if we don't get better. So that's the biggest thing.
Just tell them after the game, Coach.
Proud of them. Resilient as hell, competed. The leadership of this team has shown through twice. And, you don't know how many times you're going to be able to do that when you turn the ball over and you give people extra possessions. You just can't do that. Good football teams don't do that, and good football teams don't, let people run the ball on you for 200 yards. That's one of the things that we knew they could do well. Thought they really ran the ball well, and they used the quarterback and rushed the ball on us. We can't do that, and we got to be able to run the ball better too. But proud of the way the guys fought.
Kirby, you were confident at halftime. Where did all that confidence and poise come from for this team? They hadn't been in a situation like this before on the road.
Well, we haven't been on the road. I mean, so it's like in the SEC, I don't think people respect playing on the road in the SEC as much as I do. Being an SEC player, a veteran of this league, it is really, really hard to win on the road. And all you guys see is one versus whoever or new program. It doesn't matter when you play in a rivalry game. The passion and energy's there. It's hard to win on the road in this league, and we won, but we got to get better.
Beck and Bowers in the fourth quarter there. You see Beck grow up, and you see Bowers do what Bowers does.
Bowers did what he does. I mean, the guy's amazing. It's a wonder why you just don't go to him every play. People know he's there. Try to find creative ways to find him the ball, and we need guys around him, and they have. I mean, Dejon stepped up. Ladd made plays today for a guy that didn't practice much all week. He made some plays. Rara made a hell of a conversion on a speed out off of a corner cat. I mean, there's a lot of guys made plays. We need more playmakers around Brock so that people can't isolate him. But I thought Carson played better in the second half, and I never felt like he was rattled. And that was the concern coming in is, would he be rattled by this environment?
You mentioned Ladd there. How big was it to get him back, and what were your first impressions?
Well, for what he practiced, I thought we got way more out of him. And I worried about him being a little rusty, and he's so confident. He played great in the stadium the last time he was here, if you remember, and he made some big conversions today. And all I can do is hope that there's no setback from this, so that he can continue to get better.
Coach, you're normally very calm and composed, but at the end of the game, I saw you were amped up. So we have W3 or visor into the stand of the fans. Just how much did this win mean to you to have this win on the road and the way your team fought?
They all matter. Like, they all feel good. I mean, we put so much into this. I mean, 16, 18-hour days for 5, 6, 7 days. These kids work really hard. There's a lot of build-up. And then when you have a situation where you're behind, I don't know how many times, I feel like we're behind the whole game, and you come back and win on the road, says something about your team and your character. Nobody panicked. And I don't know how good a team we got. I really don't. I don't sit here and proclaim that we've got some unbelievable team, but I do think our team believes in each other. We connect. We step up when we need to step up, but we can't keep turning the ball over.
Coach, talk about the quarterback run. What were they doing that were giving you guys so many fits?
Well, they got misdirection plays. A lot of the plays we practiced. They got, number one, you get an extra hat when you have the quarterback. We all know that. So unless you got really good, really elite defensive line, linebackers, and safeties that are filling and fitting just perfect, one misfit is an 8-9 yard run. And in the past, we haven't struggled with that kind of run game. They hurt us. They copied some things UAB did, and we expected it. That's what's disappointing is, like, you expect it and you don't stop it. So we got to help our players, and we got to get better on defense.
Kirby Smart and JDJ had back-to-back stops in the 1 yard at your 12-yard line. How big was that for those guys to make those stops in 3rd and 4th and 1?
Was that the one before the half or right before the half? Yeah, that was big because I think, he could have gone for the field goal, and he probably felt like he needed touchdowns, kind of like I was thinking the same thing. When do I go for it and when do I not? And that was a big stop. But, hell, we gave him another possession after that because, we went out there and I wanted to be aggressive, and they ended up calling a timeout, and we had to kick it to them, and then I'll be danged if they didn't. They have to kick it to us. So it was a back and forth deal. But those were big plays in the game. I thought the second half Did we turn it over both first two possessions or just the first one in the second half? I know we turned it the first one. Second one came back. So, I mean, it's tough when you come out and you bank on getting the first possession of the second half and you gift it away. You know, that really kills momentum. And overcoming that was like, it was different in South Carolina where we gained momentum. We came out and scored. We lost momentum in the second half in this one. So, just can't keep doing that.
Woodring's kicks.
Yeah, big, man. I mean, we've been putting a lot of pressure on him in practice, but I don't know that simulates it. There's nothing that simulates what he had to do today. And I told the team after the game, he begs to do the pressure kicks in practice, and he made them in the game. So I think the kid's got something special to him.
Coach, 8 for 10 on third down. What was the key to the third down success today?
Unbelievable job by offensive staff. I mean, unbelievable job. You go 8 for 10 against air, it's incredible, okay? Because it's hard to do that. In our league, with the defensive players they've got and rushers, they had a good plan. Did an incredible job. I told the defense the halftime stats after the game. I was like, hey, guys, we're unbelievable on third down. I think we were 3 of 6 on our offense, and I was wrong because it was 8 of 10 by the end of the game. And we take a lot of pride in third down and red area being elite in the country, and our offense is kind of starting to create an identity of being good at that.
This is the second time, and I'm sorry if you answered this. This is the second time in I think 2 years that y'all lost a turnover battle by 3 and still won the game.
Not supposed to do that. You know, I mean, that means we must have won the explosives, but I don't know if we won that. But the explosive has been a greater indicator than the turnovers, as Seth knows. And it's one of those deals that you can't do that. We had 3. Oh, the interception. I'm forgetting the interception. The 2 fumbles and then the interception. Yeah. I was gonna say I didn't think we had 3. I didn't think the 3 was a margin because we got 1 on them to end the game, right? Yeah. So it's probably 2-1 maybe.
2-1.
Yeah, that is definitely not 3.
Speaking of one in the game, what was your reaction when 2-4 came down with that?
Say what?
What was your reaction when 2-4 came down with that?
Get down. I mean, it's like the national championship. I knew we could end the clock, and he's flinging the ball around trying to return it. And, you know, this goes back to the last time that happened here. You bat it down on 4th down, but he picked it.
Kirby, when you say you don't know if your team's playing unbelievable, do you think it's a matter of having Javon and McConkey and those guys back for a longer period of time? Like,
No, I mean, I just think there's a lot more parity in college football. I think there's a great separation between anybody. I mean, the pro scouts that come by our place always trust their opinion, and they like, well, we've been to this place, that place, that place. I mean, everybody's pretty similar. You know, there's not this great margin. And I told our team that you know, we played a team last year in the national championship that won like 9 games that were all 1-score games or something. So I don't know that my heart can handle that because we need to get better. But we're going to play teams as good or better than Auburn, and we got to get better.
Kirby, you lined Brock up in the backfield one time and converted a third down run. I mean, I know you're not an individual award guy, but do you think he belongs in that conversation as far as the Heisman Trophy?
I hate getting into those, man. I hate getting into that debate because I'm worried about our team, and so is he. But, I mean, who can argue that there's a better football player anywhere in the country? Just football player. I mean, the guy has the greatest toughness and grit that I've been around, and he'll do whatever you ask him to do for this team, and got a lot of respect for that guy as a competitor.
Kirby, you mentioned the run game struggled a little bit today. You guys started to get something going on the edge there in the second quarter. How were they able to stop Dejan and those guys early, and then you guys got to go in late? But what were they doing defensively to kind of stop that?
Well, they strike blockers. Ron Roberts, defense coordinator, is going to be. I mean, they're going to do a great job here. He does multiple defenses. He plays 3 down, 4 down. They play physical. They strike. I mean, he did a good job. Played really hard. We left some plays out there. Now we had some plays that they didn't always stop us as much as we stopped ourselves. The turnovers and some self-inflicted wounds. But we did run the ball well on the perimeter. I thought the fastball helped take the crowd out of it at times. I mean, look, to have a quarterback that's never started, go on the road at Auburn, and not have a procedural penalty or delay a game, pretty remarkable. I mean, to do what they did. I thought we handled that really well. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties.
Did you catch Kentucky, what they did to Florida today, at 300-something yards rushing? You got them next. They're undefeated.
Yeah, that's Mark Stoops' team. They're going to be physical. He's a defensive coach. They run the rock. I've always said our kids are the most sore they've ever been after playing Kentucky, and it was that way last year. It was a bloodbath last year up there, and it'll be the same way. I have so much respect for the way his team plays, and the back they got, I heard that he's playing really good. I didn't know anything about today, but the back they got from Vandy is a great player.
Right now, it seems like your team is a second half team. It's right, something about the first half. So what can you do to kind of make them a full 4-quarter team?
I wish I had the answer to that, Allison. Can you help me? Because we're trying. We're trying, but I don't think we start poorly. I really don't. I think we finish well, and we have started games well. It's not a consistent poor start. I mean, we did some things well today on defense early. We moved the ball on offense well early, but at the end of the day, we score more points in the second half.
Kirby, you mentioned you said you feel like Carson was never rattled. I mean, how did you see that, on the sidelines in the huddle in the second half as you were trying to come back and take the lead?
I mean, what do you mean see it? I mean, I talked to the kid. He's great. He's never flustered. I told y'all he's like that. He's a calming voice out there. I mean, he got rid of a couple balls. He took off and ran a couple times when he needed to, and the closest he came to putting us at risk was when somebody didn't do their job in the front, and he almost got sacked, and he tried to throw it away there on our sideline, and the kid should have picked it. But at the end of the day, Carson's a competitor. I've seen Carson do this since high school. He's got the right makeup.
10 90-plus yard drives on offense. What did you learn about your offense on those long extended drives?
They can be really good when they execute. It's just hard to execute for 10 and 12 plays. You have to have explosive and catch a 5-play with a 60-yarder, a 6-play with a 30-yarder. You got to catch some of those, and we're missing those. We missed Delp down the middle today early, and that was an explosive play. And we had a couple that I thought were really close to PI on Brock for an explosive, but they did a good job defending them. I mean, they got a couple PI calls that advanced them, and we missed out on a couple. And I can't argue with the call; it was judgmental, but we need some of those to hit.
Jalen Everett saw a lot of action. How do you evaluate his play?
He's getting better. He's getting more confidence. He and Julio are having a great battle. I think Julio practiced really well this week, so he played some more, and they continue to get better, and Kamari does a good job for us.
When Ladd came in, was there any type of rep count or anything on him, or was he a full go on his side?
Well, I mean, full go, but he can't play every snap. I mean, you don't practice. You can't go out there in that heat and play. So it was a situational deal. We were going to put him in and do some run plays with him in, put some pass. I mean, third down, he was big. He runs certain routes really well, and we're going to use him as freely as we needed.
Let's take 2 more questions.
Coach, I think you only have 4 possessions again in the first half. Is that something you guys are talking about, maximizing those first half possessions?
I mean, we don't talk about maximizing them, but we work all week to maximize them. It's not like we go, well, let's minimize this possession. Like everybody wants to maximize their possessions. There's not enough of them. And if you don't get 3 and outs on defense, you're probably going to have some of those. I'm disappointed in our run defense. Like, we didn't stop the run well, but you know what? They're physical, and they have 3 and 4 backs in the backfield, including the quarterback. So that's as hard as you'll see running the ball. What I'm disappointed in is we got a third down, we play man-to-man, and a guy's got the quarterback, and he leaves, and the quarterback runs, and we had him backed up. Well, that cost our offense 40 yards of field position. Those are the hidden yards that you just can't do. You can't give them gifts, make them earn things, and we didn't always do that.
Last question?
Thanks, guys.
Okay.